Hey guys, welcome back to Griffith Woodworking. I'm Chad. Hey, tonight I'm going to show you how to make a really nice, simple picture holder without making a full frame. Just using one of these oak 2x2s and a table saw and a miter saw. It's actually a really easy project to do. I have enough wood to make 30 of these. I usually make them for my church. We give them out when people get baptized. We put a little box together for them just to remember their time, and we include some pictures that we take when they get baptized and include one of these little picture holders for them so they remember that. But it's a real easy thing to make, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is to sand these pieces of wood. This is just 2x2 oak, 3 foot long. I got this at Lowe's. You can get it at your lumber store, however you want. But they're a little dirty and a little rough. So the first thing I need to do is get out my sander and just knock the edges off of this, knock the dirt off, and make them nice and presentable. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I need to go ahead and sand these up. So I'll get my sander out, plug it into my workbench outlet I have here. Put on some safety glasses, and let's get sanded. All right, I've got all 3 pieces sanded up. Now we'll move on to the next step. Now we need to take our wood and cut a slot the entire length of the board using our table saw. This is where the actual picture is going to sit down in and be displayed on the picture holder. So we need the slot we're going to cut in. It only needs to be maybe a 1/4 inch at the most into the wood. We don't need it any deeper or you're going to cover up some of the picture, and any shallower the picture won't sit straight up and down. It might fall out real easy. So we'll go ahead and then what we need to do is raise. Actually, I've got my blade already up. I need to lower my blade on my table saw down to where it's only a 1/4 inch above the table. So we'll go ahead and lower that. So I got it right about a 1/4 inch. It can go to about 3/8 of an inch as well. It'll work just fine. Some people like to cut this part right in the middle of the board. Some people like to have it towards the front. Some people like to have it towards the back. That way you have you can put your picture wherever you want. You have more of the board showing. What I like to do, I like to pick the best looking side of the wood. For this piece, it'd probably be this one, and then cut. This would be the top of my picture holder. This will be the front. This is what people see, and the picture will be on top. So I like to go ahead and cut my slot down right in the middle. So this being a 1.5 inch wide board, I need to set my fence over to 3/4 of an inch. That way my blade will be right in the middle. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. I got the blade set right at 3/4 of an inch, so that should put it right in the middle. Before I lock it down, I'll just eyeball it here. Yep, that's good. All right, go ahead and lock that down. And now we'll go ahead and cut the board, and we'll cut the slot right in using the table saw. Get my goggles. Turn on the shop vac. Let's get started. we've got the slot cut in all 3 of these boards. Now here's where you can decide how big of a picture you want to put in here. The pictures that I make these for are usually about 4x6 or 3.5x5, so they only need to be 3.5 inches wide. If you want to put a big picture in here, you can cut these using a miter saw as wide and as long as you want. So that's the next step. So I'll go ahead and mark those, get them marked, and then I will get my miter saw out. So now I just need to mark my boards to cut 10 of those little holders out of each of these boards. 36 inches long, like I said earlier. So each one's going to be about 3.5 inches long. I'm going to mark one of them, and then I'll use my square here to mark the other 3, and then we'll start cutting. So every 3.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And like I said before, you can make these as long as you want, depending on what kind of picture that you're trying to make these for. So now I'll go ahead and mark all 3 of these boards using the one that I've already marked. So now that they're marked, we'll go ahead and get out the miter saw so we can cut these up and make our picture holders. Plug it in here. Let's get started cutting. Goggle up. All right, we got them all cut. So as you can see, little 3.5 inch blocks. It's got a slot in the top where the actual picture will sit down and it'll hold it in there. I don't know if you can tell right there, but when I do this with the miter saw, it leaves these little pieces of wood sticking up. So the last thing I need to do before I give these away, I take just a piece of sandpaper and I just hand sand them a little bit just to get those edges nice and soft. We don't want someone getting splinters when they get these things. So I'll grab a piece of sandpaper and I'll just start knocking the edges off. You can see if you're only making a few of these, it won't take long at all. I have 30, so this little edge sanding might take a little bit of time. That's all right though. People love these things. They're really good for gifts. If you have pictures that you want to give somebody, just print them off a picture, put it in one of these things, they'd love it. All right, I'm gonna sand the rest of these. Just knock off the rough edges. Both sides where I use the miter saw to cut it, and run a little bit right through the slot. That's what you get. Try to get you a little close up here. You got the slot here where the picture goes. So just sit down right in the middle. Pretty much just a block of wood. have a picture I can just throw in here, so I'll show you what it looks like. Hope you can see that there. There's the picture holder. I got this nice picture of me and my wife and my boys. So you just sit it in here, and it just sits it right up, keeps it nice and upright. If you got a picture that way, or also if you got a picture this way, same thing. Nice little picture holder. Well guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna take these tomorrow to the people I made them for. Hopefully they enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments, or shoot me an email. Thanks guys, bye.